Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope you're having a great day. Oh, we are joined by both dogs. Hooray. I have just it's not a very big HomeWorx haul, but I have a HomeWorx haul and first sniff impressions to share today. And so, all right, well, this is not okay, sir, ma'am. You're gonna have to take this somewhere else, please. Excuse me. Scoozy. There you go. Okay. We're gonna do some first impression sniffs. I unpacked these candles and I tried really hard not to smell them because I was like, I want to do this on camera, but also that's really hard to do. Because first of all, these were sitting in my garage for the last 2 days. This past weekend, I kind of did like a whole lot of nothing. It just needed one of those weekends. So, but anyway, I unpacked them this morning and I wanted to film this video to put up at some point this week. So let's get to it. 2 of these scents were sent to me as PR. The rest I purchased myself. In fact, I received, so here's the 2 that I received in PR. I received the vanilla scented candle. What a boring name. What a boring label. I kind of like it though. I kind of like the simplicity of this one. And then also they sent me the sandalwood. So these 2 were sent to me. However, I placed an order for 2 more of these vanilla candles myself, which I now regret. We'll get into why. But yeah, oh, and there's a fly in the window. Ooh, gross. Yeah, so and the rest, again, I purchased myself. Just want to clarify for those to whom it matters. Okay, let us start, however, with the raspberry linzer, which, yes, I finally got my hands on. Love the color of this hobnail jar. It's not really red, but it's also not like fuchsia pink. It's such an interesting color, right? Just so pretty. Love that color. Okay, so raspberry linzer. This is supposed to be the repackage of vanilla currant biscotti, which awkwardly I'm holding here. I have the OG because I had an extra set that I purchased back in the day. And this actually came from like, it came out of the box. Like it was still sealed in the box from QVC when it was shipped to me in 2019, because that is when vanilla currant biscotti came out. I don't know why I never unpacked it. I know that I definitely burned through at least one of this set, possibly even 2. And then the third one I was like, oh, I'll save this for I don't know when. Well, today's the day. We're finally using it. And the other limoncello cupcake that I think it was limoncello cupcake, that was, I love that one anyway. So anyway, okay. So raspberry linzer, let's read the fragrance notes here. Let's read the fragrance notes of the vanilla currant biscotti. Let us compare the 2. Okay. Fragrance notes for raspberry linzer cookie are fresh raspberry, almond cream, brown sugar, and baked cookie. A vanilla currant biscotti is red currants, almond cream, brown sugar, and baked cookie. So our difference is that Harry switched out, supposedly, raspberry for the red currants. Or switched in raspberry for the red currants. The thing is, he didn't. It's not raspberries in this. It smells like currants. But there is a significant difference in the cold sniff strength of this raspberry linzer cookie and this OG vanilla currant biscotti. And I'm talking like night and day difference in terms of strength on cold sniff. This, nice. I can definitely smell it. I'm not going to say it's unscented. One of these candles I'm going to show you is unscented, but this one is not. But it is significantly lighter. If I had to give this a cold sniff strength rating, I would put this at about a 5.5. Like, it's there. I can smell it. It smells good. I know I like the fragrance. I liked it enough to purchase multiples of the original. It's not my favorite fragrance, but I like it. It's one where, like, if that was my only option, to purchase. Like if there wasn't any new stuff coming out, I would totally get it again. I'd like to try some new things, but it's a nice scent. Very pleasant, very warm. Smells a little bit more like fall to me than it does summertime, which is what makes me think that like maybe if you called it raspberry, that people would be like, oh great, it's a summer scent. Raspberries come out in the summer, right? But it's definitely very much currant. It's not raspberry at all. It does have a beautiful brown sugar note. It does have that sort of like almond note running throughout it. And it smells like a biscotti cookie with some currants and some brown sugar. It's a very warm, delicious gourmand scent for sure. Let me tell you what the cold sniff on this bad boy, which has now been sitting, in all fairness, for a couple years in a dark closet in a box. Like 10. This is so strong that it almost gives me a headache on cold sniff. This one, I know if I light this, it's going to scent my entire house. This is what HomeWorx candles used to really be the norm for me, is they would fill the entirety of the downstairs of the house, which to me was like that perfect like 8, 9, 10 out of 10 kind of rating, right? Like that's kind of where my sweet spot is, probably around like an 8 or a 9. A 10 out of 10 isn't always the best. I mean, there are some fragrances that when they hit you in the face, they can sometimes be too cloying, they can be too perfumey, they can give you a migraine, right? Like this is one where I would probably have to be careful about having guests over when burning this one, or just at least make sure that someone doesn't have any like terrible like sensitivities to strong fragrances, because man, I tell you what, this sitting over the last couple of years has intensified that brown sugar and that almond note. It's so strong. It's so strong. But yeah, that's what this is. It's yes.
Just saying.
Hi. Sorry, the little one. She came home from school. I let her. She's allowed here. Yeah, so strong. This is raspberry linzer. Well, this raspberry linzer is a 100%. But I still stand by the fact that the raspberry shortbread also shares some similarities with the vanilla currant biscotti. Actually, when I first got this one, like that's the first thing that popped to my mind, is like, oh man, this kind of smells like that biscotti candle that I had. Now, they're different, but they have the same type of vibe. Now, this one very much has a like fruitier, like raspberry note to it. It's definitely not currant in this one, but it's that same type of like warm, gourmand, yummy, like baked cookie with a fruit note kind of scent. I still like this one. It's good. But yeah, no, that is not a repackage of vanilla currant biscotti, but raspberry linzer, absolutely a repackage. So 100%, if you were looking for a backup of this, you're gonna find it in this, but it is not nearly as strong. Now, granted, if this sits for 2 years, maybe it will intensify, because this was not this strong when I first received it. I do remember that. I remember it being pretty strong, but it was not this intense. I know there are some people that don't believe that if you let a candle sit that it will get stronger. I am one of those people where I do think that happens for some reason, especially with my HomeWorx candles. Now, I have found with other candle companies, if I let the candles sit too long, like some of my older Bath & Body Works candles, they smell terrible, or they don't smell nearly as strong after about year 6 or 7. Do I think people should keep candles that long? Probably not. I mean, I understand the collector aspect of it, and if you're just collecting like a one-of-a-kind fragrance, totally get that. But this is why I always stress this whole like, make sure that you are going to burn what you buy so that you're not hoarding, because eventually some candles do end up either turning or losing their fragrance, or they just don't smell as good, or they don't perform as good as if you were to use them within the first, you know, like maybe couple years of receiving them. So anyway, that's just my own little personal thing. I'm glad to have the raspberry linzer. It'll be interesting to compare the two burning, but on cold sniff, definitely a repackage. Okay, you guys, let's talk about this collection. And I'm gonna start on a womp womp note for sure. So vanilla. I was really hopeful and excited, like super excited about this because I love a good basic vanilla. And when I saw that this had like 3 different types of vanillas, I was like, yes, perfect. Okay, so your description here is a tempting combination of pure vanillas from Madagascar, Tahiti, and Indonesia. Oh, that's a wick. I had like a wick bit on the bottom of this candle. Oh man, this, I swear, this factory, I don't think that they're really doing quality control. I feel like, I hope that Harry has an intervention with them because I really don't think a lot of what they put out this year is up to par with what HomeWorx is really known for. And I want them to get back to being the type of candles that give people headaches. Because we all, not all, most of us prefer a stronger candle, which is why I think a lot of us started with HomeWorx, and they are significantly lighter this spring. And I am not a fan of that because I don't want to have to burn 3 candles necessarily. I don't mind burning a couple together because usually that's what I do anyway. But I don't want to have to burn 2 of the same just to be able to fill up the downstairs of the house, especially when that wasn't a problem in the past. So this, you guys, I can barely smell it. And what I can is not a vanilla that I like. This smells like cheap plastic vanilla candles from the dollar store. Have you seen those? They're like this, they're these like small little, almost like votive sized candles, and they have this very just kind of cheap vanilla generic fragrance. It's not vanilla bean, it's not even French vanilla. It smells like baby dolls. Like, have you ever gotten a baby doll that kind of has like that fake vanilla smell on it? Like, that's what this smells like. And it's so light. If I had to give this a cold strength, I would give this like a 1.5. Like, I have to stick my nose in it. Like, having it right here, like, I can't smell it. And I should be able to, like, the raspberry linzer, when I have this right here, I can smell this. I can very clearly smell there is a candle next to me. With this, like, this is when I can smell it. Like, I literally have my nose in here. So, oh, and I got my lipstick on it. Bummer. At least it's a pretty color. Yeah, and of course, because I was excited, I ordered a few of these because I thought, oh man, this vanilla is going to sell out and I'm going to be so bummed. Well, now I have some vanillas. I don't know really going to be able to do much with. I will save them for emergencies because you know what, sometimes the lights go out, and when your lights go out you need emergency candles, and well, my emergency candle is going to be these HomeWorx vanilla scents. It's fine, it's totally fine. Coconut. Okay, this one appealed to me too because on top of basic vanilla, I also love me a good basic like summery coconut scent. So your notes here are an exotic combination of pure coconut harvested from Tonga, Bali, and Indonesia. Get in my nose holes. Okay, so this one's slightly stronger, but still only about a 3 in terms of like cold strength. Really have to like be one with the candle to get the complexity of the coconuts. Now this whole line is meant to be a very simple, like straightforward line. Not supposed to be a bunch of like exotic blends. Just very basic, straightforward fragrances. And I like this coconut one. This is a nice coconut. It's not like suntan lotion coconut. It's more of like the fresh, cracked coconut, but maybe like the coconut water. With a little bit of like that pulp in it, maybe. This is nice. This is very pleasant. Am I going to be able to fragrance the downstairs of my house with this? Probably not. I think I'm going to have to put this one either in a bathroom or in a, you can't have that, son, in a bathroom or in a bedroom upstairs. This is not one that I think is going to do well in the downstairs of the house, which is really too bad because I really do actually like this one on Cold Sniff. And then the last one, this one is another one that they sent to me. I'm glad they actually did because I would not have picked this one up myself, and I actually like this way better than the vanilla. Sandalwood. And I have liked sandalwood fragrances in the past. In fact, one of my favorites is the vanilla sandalwood, or sandalwood vanilla. I think it's the vanilla sandalwood from Bath & Body Works. Oh, so good. No, it's sandalwood vanilla. Definitely sandalwood vanilla. So good. Sold so many of those on Mercari back in the day. I bought so many of those in, what was it, like 2012 or something? Man, I had a lot. I had a lot of Bath & Body Works candles. I sold a ton of them on Mercari, which was great because I made at least some of my money back. But, oh man, this reminds me of that sandalwood vanilla from Bath & Body Works. This is really nice. This is really good. So this is a pleasant combination of pure rare sandalwood gathered from Australia, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. I'm not sure that sandalwoods would smell that much differently from country to country, but maybe. But it just smells like a really good basic sandalwood. Now it does smell like it has some like vanilla blended in there. It's soft, like it's a soft sandalwood fragrance. It's really enjoyable. I actually really like this one. And if this one gives me some good strength and throw when it's burning, I would totally actually repurchase this one. So my suggestion would be, if you haven't ordered it already, I would skip this vanilla. I just don't think it's that great. If you like coconut, this is a good coconut to try. I just hope that it has a lot more oomph than I'm expecting to based off of the Cold Sniff. And the raspberry linzer for sure. If you like that vanilla currant biscotti and you want a dupe for it or a replacement for it, this is going to be your best option for sure. It is essentially the same fragrance. And there you have it. That's it. So kind of a smaller or shorter first impressions here. I do think there are some more things coming, obviously, for summer. I don't know when HomeWorx is going to start. I know, here I am. It's like barely May, and I'm talking about fall. We know how I feel about the summer. I'd like to just skip it, but I imagine that some of the fall stuff will be dropping in August. I'm guessing kind of early August. So, but there are still a few more months of new releases coming to both QVC and the HomeWorx website. So I'll of course let you guys know. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram. I have a TikTok now. If you'd like to follow me on TikTok, it's just MrKongsMom as well. And then I'll try to do a YouTube community tab announcement for any sales as well. So anyway, I'll put the link to HomeWorx down below where you can purchase these along with a discount code if you're interested. These are not available at QVC, so they are ones that you would have to purchase from HomeWorx.Shop exclusively, at least at this point. There is a chance that they could come to QVC, but I'm not entirely sure. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.